Oh boy, we're talking about win streaks now? Man, when was the last time we saw that? When was the last time as a Flyers fan you got to experience a winning streak? It's only 2 games though. How long is that going to last before we go into another losing streak? Who knows? Who knows? Because at this point, the Flyers have a week off after this. So it's going to be a long time without Flyers hockey. And maybe that's the best thing for a lot of people. But before we get into all of this nonsense today, and before this Flyers victory, 2-game win streak, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. The most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. So if you are a new viewer looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be, depending on the outcome, great or miserable, depending on that outcome. Also, if you're a current subscriber of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking to buy tickets to any upcoming concert, sporting event, whatever you can think of, use the code TTPSPORTS at SeatGeek for $20 off your first purchase. So that could be hockey, basketball, NFL playoffs. Even though the Super Bowl is coming up, you got $20 off that very expensive ticket if you want to do that. Also, baseball, whenever the hell that decides to come back, hopefully. So that $20 basically eradicates the fees, and you can use that $20 for food, drink, because you know how expensive that is at the arena. So definitely use the code TTP Sports for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek today. So getting into the business tonight, the Flyers 2-game win streak as they beat the Winnipeg Jets tonight by a score of 3-1. Carter Hart played fantastic after allowing the first goal of the game on the first shot of the game from Winnipeg. Carter Hart, even though I wouldn't blame Carter on that, still, it was a really great game by Carter Hart. I think I should basically have started off with that. Great game by Carter Hart. And the Flyers, it was a pretty boring game, I would say. The Flyers, I would say their best period was the third, when they eventually did get that lead. And at this point, the longest stretch of time, I thought this was going to be an overtime game once again. I was just like, oh boy, here we go again. But actually, this is the Flyers' first regulation win since, I believe, December 14th, and I think that was a 6-1 win against the Devils at home. So yeah, it's been a while since the Flyers last had a regulation win. It's been a month and a half at this point because it's February. February 1st to be exact. A month and a half. Been a very long time. But still, regulation win, 3-1 win. Carter Hart played great. Konechny got a goal, JVR got a goal, and Oscar Lindblom put in the empty netter. Wouldn't say it was a fantastic game out of any sort. The Flyers had so many power plays in this game that they were not able to score on. There was a lot of sloppiness on the ice as well. Basically the same stuff that you've been seeing over the last so many stretches this season. Because once again, this Flyers team still isn't that good, but they found a way to win tonight. And Winnipeg, honestly, I would say they're a way better team than the Flyers, but they're still not one of the better teams either. I would say they're more of that middle ground group because the Central Division is so competitive at this point. But still, Winnipeg, I think they were sloppy as well as the Flyers. The Flyers just, for some reason, a lot throughout this game, they were struggling to get stretch passes going. They were struggling to connect on passes, and they were passing up shots. But they still managed to outshoot Winnipeg in total in this game, 36-33. Granted, that was through a very dominant third period by the Flyers because I thought they were the better team throughout that third period. But I would say first period was more of an evenly paced, period. Second period, I would say, was more in favor of Winnipeg. And the third period was definitely in favor of the Flyers. But hey, still, this is one of those things, like I said last recap when the Flyers won. Basically enjoy the wins while you can, because who knows how many more wins we are going to see before this thing inevitably comes to the trade deadline and a lot of these players are gone. So enjoy it while you can, because who knows what the hell is going to happen. Definitely, who knows what the hell is going to happen. So getting into this game, like I said earlier, Flyers allowed the first goal on the first shot of the game by Winnipeg. Kyle Connor gets his 25th on the season. Basically a rush into the zone. Flyers, break down defensively, and a one-timer for Kyle Connor manages to beat Carter Hart as he's trying to sprawl to make the save, and it becomes a 1-0 Winnipeg lead. Flyers got a couple of power plays in this period. They don't score on them. And like I said, this was more of an evenly paced period. Carter Hart was making a couple of good saves. Connor Hellebuyck made a couple of good saves as well. It was just, I would say the first period was very boring. There really wasn't much to it. And the Flyers did actually get booed They got booed going into the first intermission. And speaking of the fans and booing and all that, very patchy in the stands, very, 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 very patchy, which is not to be expected because of the way the season has gone, and fans are rightfully frustrated and not showing up to the games. So I understand it. I think the attendance was just above 13,000, which is not good. Which is not good. That's below the league. When you're in the bottom of the league, that's when you know how bad you are. That's when you're not getting any fans. But honestly, even when the Flyers used to be, well, not used to be, but when the seasons I think over 15 years ago, 06, 07, where they were still one of the worst teams in the league, they were still selling out games. So this is just crumpling up and just mixing up all the frustration over the past so many years with this team just not being able to figure it out, just putting slop every other year on the ice. And fans rightfully have it, and that's what's showing in the attendance right now. But Dave Scott will tell you that it's mainly COVID in factoring all of that as well. But not going to get into that. That is another discussion for another day. But still, very patchy seats. Very, very patchy seats. So going into the second period, I thought Winnipeg was definitely the better team throughout. Carter Hart had to make a lot of saves. Winnipeg had a couple of power plays as well. Carter Hart having to make some great saves off of a one-timer from Kyle Connor sprawling to the other side to make that save. And the Flyers, their lone goal of this period comes a little over halfway into the second period. Flyers force a turnover in the offensive zone. It's Travis Konechny forcing that turnover, and one hell of a wrister past Connor Hellebuck to beat him to tie the game up at 1. Konechny definitely needed a shot like that to go in for how much he has been struggling this year. So hopefully for a guy like Travis Konechny, maybe that can get him going, but at the end of the day, I doubt it just because of the way this season has gone. So yeah, a little bit of a bright spot right there, but also throwing in some negativity as well, just because this is the 2021-22 Philadelphia Flyers. So, you go into the intermission. The Flyers did have a couple of power plays this period as well, but they don't score on them as per usual. Go into the second intermission, go into the third period. Flyers were definitely the way better team in this third period. They get a couple of power plays as well, and there were definitely a lot of missed calls as well. I know Gary Mayhew or Jerry Mayhew, I always get his name mixed up because it's spelled Gary, but it's pronounced Jerry, with a J, but his name's spelled with a G. So yeah, but still, he basically got his head almost taken off, and he was bleeding at the same time, which I was very surprised that wasn't a double minor. It was called a 2-minute minor for interference, I believe it was. So yeah, Flyers go to that power play. They don't score on it, but I would say they were still the better team. They had a lot of chances throughout this period, and there were a lot of frustrating parts as well. There were still a lot of situations where they were struggling to make a pass, struggling to make that outlet pass as well, try to get the stretches going, trying to get into the Winnipeg zone. Winnipeg was doing a better job of keeping them to the outside, but still it felt like the Flyers controlled the better pace of this third period, and the Flyers get the very late goal in this period, a little under 5 minutes to go in the game. Flyers get a 2-on-1 rush off of a Winnipeg turnover. Scott Laughton, James Van Riemsdyk. Laughton takes the shot on net. Rebound comes out the JVR, who has the open net, and he scores, and the Flyers lead 2-1. And for JVR, during this game, too, there was just so many, bad things. I think it was on one of the Flyers' power plays, JVR. It just looked like he wasn't trying to go after the puck. He was trying to reach with a stick. He took a penalty. And speaking of the Flyers' power plays, too, while I'm at it, before getting to the end of the game. Actually, I'll get to the end of the game first because there were some bothersome things on the power plays as well. So, JVR gets the goal. Flyers go 2-1. Winnipeg decides to pull the goaltender for the extra attacker in the final 2 minutes. Flyers win a puck battle, find a way to get the puck to Oscar Lindblom, who clears it all the way down the ice and into the empty net, and the Flyers win 3-1. So, go into the power play. There were a lot of things that bothered me. One, that JVR penalty. And two, there was a play where I believe they were trying to dump the puck in, or they were coming into the zone, and they dumped it around the boards. And for some odd reason, Travis Konechny just did not want to hustle to this puck. I don't know what the hell it was, but it, made my eyes bleed from, the lack of, hustle to try to keep the puck in the goddamn zone. I was just like, come on, man, you're on a power play. Try to keep it in. There's no Winnipeg player there. Be in that area, try to get the puck, skate to it, hustle, keep the puck into the zone, and you keep possession. But no, it goes all the way down, and once again, you struggle to get into the zone because your transitions are terrible. But still, Flyers won the game, even though there were a lot of things that went wrong in this game. Well, I wouldn't say went wrong. There were just so much slop. It was. In my honest opinion, the Flyers didn't play the perfect game at all. No way in hell. It's probably more up to par with the games they have been playing recently, even during their losing streaks. They're just finding ways, They found ways to score today, and Carter Hart played very well in this game as well. So, yeah, they find a way to win. They win 3-1. They go on a 2-game winning streak right now. Good old 2 games there. Who knows how long that's going to last. So your 3 stars of the game, Kyle O'Connor gets 3rd star for Winnipeg. 2nd star goes to Carter Hart, and James Van Riemsdyk gets the 1st star with the game winner in tonight's game. Totals for this game. Shots on goal, 36-33 in favor of the Flyers. Flyers won face-off percentage, 59.3%. Flyers go 0-4 on the power play, while Winnipeg goes 0-2. Very physical game, 29 hits to 24 in favor of Winnipeg. Flyers blocked a lot of shots, 17-9, and both teams gave the puck away a lot. And shot totals per period. First period, 12-7 in favor of the Flyers. In the second period, 15-10 in favor of Winnipeg, so that shows you how better Winnipeg was in that second. And in the third period, it was 14-11 in favor of the Flyers. So this is the final game before the All-Star game. So the Flyers, after tonight, this game against Winnipeg, they will have 7 days off before basically the All-Star break for them at this point. I feel like a lot of teams are going through their All-Star breaks right now. I think some teams' last game was yesterday. Some teams' last game is probably today. Some teams' last games will probably be tomorrow. And then basically Thursday will start the All-Star break for the entire NHL. So your Flyers' lone All-Star is going to be Claude Giroux. Not surprised. So basically you have a whole 7 days off, a whole 7 days of no Flyers hockey. So yeah, it's going to be a long time. And the Olympics do start on Friday as well. So maybe if you want something to watch, basically this entire month with the Olympics, when they go on for 2 weeks, I feel like people will be watching those more than Flyers hockey. Maybe I'll tune into the Olympics more than this team, but most likely I'll be watching this team more at that time, even though I do really enjoy the Winter Olympics. So, after the All-Star break, the Flyers come back from that next Wednesday at home to play the Detroit Red Wings. They'll have 2 days off, then they play Saturday in Detroit at 12 p.m. on that Saturday. They'll have 2 days off once again. They play on the road against Pittsburgh, and this is going to be a very tough stretch for this team. Pittsburgh, Washington, and basically after the Pittsburgh game, this starts an 8-game homestand for the Flyers. 8 games at home, straight. So, after Pittsburgh, Washington at home, Carolina, St. Louis, Washington again, Edmonton, Minnesota, Chicago, and Vegas. Those are the 8 straight games at home. So yeah, the Flyers are going to be at home a lot, witnessing, the patchy crowd at the Wells Fargo Center. And I don't blame the fans one bit. This team. Hopefully this does not start a winning stretch, because at the end of the day, this team is not going to make the playoffs, and wins are meaningless, in my honest opinion, because this team is going nowhere, and basically wins at this point means you're going to get a worst pick in the draft. That's basically all I'm taking from it at this point, because if you're going through this aggressive retool stuff, I feel like if you're trying to shake up some things, I don't think you'll want to, win games, even though that's probably going to be their goal the rest of the season, to try to win as much as possible. But you're going into the trade deadline, you're most likely trading away all your UFAs. And then whatever you do through this aggressive retool stuff, whether that's, shaking some other pieces off this main roster, and then bringing in some other guys via trades, via free agency, via the draft, via some other prospects that are down in Lehigh Valley, or people that are playing overseas in the juniors college whatsoever. And there's a lot of things that they have to do. So hopefully one of those things does involve getting a higher draft pick. I would like that very much, even though this draft isn't supposed to be as deep as next year's. Why couldn't this team suck next year? Why? Why couldn't it be next year when we're in the Connor Bedard-Michkov draft? I would have loved that. But no, the Flyers decide to suck in the drafts when they're not as strong. But hopefully they can luck out and get a top pick. Hopefully. Or just find the right pick. That'd be nice. Because right now the Flyers, as they stand in the Metropolitan Division, if the thing would load for me, Flyers are currently 7th place in the Metro Division, 15, 22, and 8. They have 38 points on the season. They are 3 points above the New Jersey Devils, who have 35. They're 15, 25, and 5. Both teams have played the same amount of games. And the Devils, they're also going through their bad stretch as well. They're 1-9 in their last 10. They're currently on a 6-game losing streak. So, yeah, the Devils are starting to suck right now. even though they really have been pretty bad the entire season. And looking at the records for the entire National Hockey League, the Flyers currently rank, I would say, the 6th worst team in the NHL right now. They rank 26th in the league. Teams that are below them: Buffalo, New Jersey, Ottawa, Seattle, Arizona, and Montreal are your bottom feeders of the entire league. No one's really going to be catching up to them in terms of point totals. So yeah, I don't want to be that guy that says lose more, even though I think some of those other people are saying that. But honestly, winning does you no good at this point. Even though, like I said, I don't want to want you to lose more games. Definitely no. But at this point, I just feel like wins are meaningless. But they are going to win games. They're going to win games. They're going to lose games. That's how the rest of this season is going to go. It really all depends on where they finish in the standings and if they can get the luck of the draft lottery, which is not guaranteed. But who knows? Who knows with the luck of anything right now? Basically, at this point, we have 7 days off after this game, enjoying the All-Star break. Olympics start on Friday, and then you don't have to see Flyers until next week if that's what you're worried about then. So, in terms of stuff to do this week, I don't know. Maybe I'll do some videos up, because I am planning to, repaint this area. So I'm not sure if that's going to be this weekend, because that would be the perfect time, because there's really nothing going on. But still, when that comes, that comes. So that's going to do it for this video, everyone. What are your thoughts on this game? What are your thoughts on Carter Hart's performance and just basically everything else? Are you happy to, not have, Flyers hockey for 7 days in a row? So definitely leave those comments in the comment section below. I would like to read them as always. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I'm a part of. Their links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer.pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. Don't forget to check those out. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you do is hit that sub button and also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And I will see you next time.